Because Kayla had gotten hurt last year, and physically she wasn't able to do everything that she was able to do before. But man, I loved having you on the team, Kayla. And I am sure, because I know me, I didn't do a good enough job of expressing it. So I want to say right here in front of God and all creation, how much I loved having you not just on the team. I'm trying to make you. Oh, she's already crying. Okay, good. There we go. But you're amazing. You really are. And I know you have this thing because you're a McCrory and the whole family is great in town and all this stuff. But I'm here to tell you, you have something special that none of them have. None of them are you. None of them have the skill set and the gifts that you've been given and the opportunity to touch the lives that you can touch. And so you do that. And it's okay to be confident in yourself, in the gifts that God has given you, to use them for His glory. Because you're amazing. Tegan. I love Tegan. She's awesome. And she was about 4 inches taller. We would have beaten Muncie Burris this year. Maybe not, but I like to dream. Tegan's another volleyball player, and she's just awesome. And I love, looking at you and seeing you smile, which I'll tell you, one of the other things about me as a coach is I can be kind of intense. Okay, I'm like super intense sometimes. And so at the beginning of the year, I recognized something with this team, and that was we only played well when we played loose. And I'm like, man, that doesn't work with my personality. How do I get them to play loose? And I'm like, oh, you made the kid this thing. And so we tried to figure it out. And eventually, I think we kind of got to the point. So I remember you coming up and saying, hey, I'm not scared of you anymore, Mr. Sexauer. And I wasn't quite sure how to take that, because I'm like, a healthy fear is okay. But I'm like, oh, good. She knows that I care about her. And so, again, looking to go into nursing, that is a relationship business. And you have the gifts to be able to do that, but you have to let yourself do it. Now, it's going to be hard for you, because I know you don't like putting yourself out there sometimes, and you protect a little bit, but you're going to have to learn how to be vulnerable, because who you are, if you can share that with others, will transform their lives. Jeremiah, I'm going to hit you, man. You know it. So, in front of God and all creation, I'm going to say it. Jeremiah is an amazingly talented young man. The only thing that will hold you back is your effort. And I told you that in the gym during the season, and I'm saying it again here. I was a college athlete. I was scholarship one because I wasn't good enough. My wife was, and she hates when I brag on her. But so I know what that looks like. I've coached Division I All-Americans, international caliber players. I'm not saying you're going to go be the next LeBron James. But you can make a difference in St. Francis. With your body type, your height, your skill set, there's things you can do that you can get yourself a 4-year degree and not have to pay a whole lot of money for it and change the course of your life, and then whatever profession you go into, impact others. But it takes work, and you got to put the work in. And the work is not just the time you're in the gym, in the games. It's that out-of-season stuff that your coaches are going to be on you about, but you have the talent. Don't waste it, because if you do, I'm going to drive to Fort Wayne and kick you in the butt. Okay, Jonathan Fender. Yeah. I'm sorry, Cole and Caitlin. I know you guys are here. I love you so much, and I've been able to spend more time with you. I wouldn't say this, but I'm going to admit it. You're my favorite Fender. It's only because I know him better. That's all. So this is, again, one of those things where late in your high school career, the passion was unleashed. I don't know if you even knew what ASL was before this year, before the Coddles were able to unleash that into you, which I know they're here somewhere. Shout out to them. Where are they? There they are, right there. I'll talk to you later. But one of the unique things about being here at CCA is our faculty are able to literally transform kids' lives because of how they invest in them. And so where this young man is going, the fact that he's even graduating, going to college, and to be able to have a career doing what he's doing, impacting the lives of others who have some disabilities, is because of the effort that you and your husband put into that class and into him. Woo! Now, it wasn't just the effort that she did. You had to do something with it, and you still have to do something with it. I know school's going to be hard. I hope you're not thinking that just because you're doing something you love, it's going to be a cakewalk. It's not going to be. It's going to be hard work. But you can do it. You and your goofy sense of humor with your little shrunken hands and your other jokes that you do, you have an ability. And again, it's a gift. God gave this to you. And you can use it or you can waste it. Don't waste it. Don't give up. It's going to get tough. And when it gets tough, come back here. We'll love on you. We'll encourage you. And then we're going to kick you in the butt and send you back and have you keep going because you have a gift that you need to use. Jade is already crying. I haven't even started talking about her yet. Here we go. That's okay. So I love my kids tremendously. My kids have had every advantage you could possibly have in life. We've got a dad who's a successful entrepreneur, made a lot of money. We got a mom who's educated, who's able to homeschool them. And so my heart beats for people like you, Jada. You don't have all those advantages, but you're here. And you are so talented. But you are not your talent. You are so much more than that. But that talent that you have, that you can be a faithful steward of, can change people's lives. I love art. My oldest son is literally practically a starving artist as he's trying to make it in professional music. And I know it is tough to have a mind that works like yours does. But my son had every advantage and he's still a starving artist. And you haven't had those advantages, and yet you're going to make something great of yourself by using your gift. And I hope you use it for God's glory, because whether you do or not, you're going to have success. My prayer for you is that you will only have success as you honor him with your gift. But don't give up. Know that you're loved. Know that you have a family that's here that supports you. It's hard to make it as an artist, but I like to think of myself, well, I don't know if I like to, but I think of myself as I'm an elitist, I'm a snob, I'm sorry, but I like things that are excellent. It's part of why I'm pushing so hard at CCA is I want us to be excellent at what we do. And Jada, your art is excellent. Most of the stuff I see, I can't stand. I'm sorry, no, that's just so snobby. But it just isn't any good. It's very rare to find somebody that has the talent that you have. My memory of you is when I was looking at the pictures, somebody used them for that little app that they had in the competition you did in Beasley's class. I can't remember who it was. I remember just looking at that stuff going, how did they get it? I mean, this was like great stuff. Oh, Jada did it. Like, it's no big deal. And I was like, do you have any clue how hard it is to have the talent to be able to do something like this? And she's just kind of like, just farting it out. I mean, it's amazing. Sorry, but so much talent, so much stacked against you, but here you are, keep on going. Use your talent for God's glory. Kobe Simmons. Keep making the right choices. Keep making the right choices. You know some of my background. You knew what I grew up with. You want to hear some really juicy stories? My mom's sitting right back there. But I had some family trials and tribulations, I would call them. Gangs, drugs, sexual abuse, criminal justice system, you name it, that was part of my family growing up. Divorce, you think about all the nasty stuff that exists in life, and I got to see it, and I got a front row. Now I'm making my mom cry, sorry mom. I got a front row seat. Best friend shot and killed when I was a teenager. I made different choices. You've made different choices. Your family loves you. You need your family. But we are also your family. And we are here for you. Keep making good choices. You said you don't know what's next. Whatever's next, you call me. And I won't just write you a recommendation letter. I'll show up at so-and-so's office and walk you in there. Now, you got to do it. But you will get that intro because I am in your corner. And so is Bobby, and so is every other person who's had the pleasure of being your teacher or working with you while you've been here. Keep making good choices. Jared Stevens. So I'm going to go with a memory that's like really recent. It's kind of funny, but it's standing out right now. So the graduates are all out there, they're getting everything ready. There's a circle of people, and I look over, and Jared's on the ground, and he's doing push-ups and clapping his hands together. And I I got no idea why, and I'm like, okay. But Jared has got determination. I've seen you in the gym early in the morning. I saw you I wasn't up, but I heard, early in the morning on the beach on senior trip, and he's working out. Whether it ends up being a personal trainer or anything else, that kind of drive and dedication and commitment will serve you well. I'm glad you're here. You almost weren't. It was one of those things where you're like, no, that CCA thing is not for me, but here you are. And it was for you, and you are part of our family. You're about to be an alumni, and you have a drive that has helped you to be able to get to where you are. Keep feeding that. There's a saying that, the dog that wins is the dog that gets fed the most. Feed the good dog, and you will end up being successful. Darren, man, not quite as much as Alexis, but it's hard for me to look at you and not start laughing. So, anybody here ever seen Charlie Brown cartoon?
Yes.
Where they got the teacher? So I love Darren. But when Darren starts to wax poetic, he's speaking, I don't know what he's saying, I don't know if he even knows what he's saying, and but there's words and sounds and things coming out. But here's the thing, I've had enough conversations with you, man, you're a bright young man. And I think, I don't know if you're scared to let yourself kind of pursue or what, but you got a lot going on up here. You just need to pick a direction and stick with it. So I remember in the senior seminar class when I asked all of you what your plans were going to be coming up, and you were like, this and that and this. So I started pushing back on them, asking them questions. Have you done your FAFSA? Have you taken your SAT? Because there's things you've got to do if you're going to actually fulfill these plans. And you hadn't done a whole lot of those things because you've got all these ideas. Well, I'm an idea guy. I've got a new idea like every 3 seconds. Most of them are absolute garbage and worthless. Every so often one of them works out. But one thing I've learned in my 48 years on this planet is ideas are great, but execution is what separates the idea people from the successful people. You've got great ideas, but learn to focus and execute, and you'll be super successful. Yes, Aubrey, here come to you. So, I love Aubrey White. I love the fact that she has been at this school for 15 years. That means 3 years old, K3, the entire time. So if there is anybody sitting here in this entire room who is a Charger, it's you. So that means you've got to be wildly, phenomenally successful or we stink. Just saying. Cry, can't help it. So I put Aubrey through hell this year. Didn't do it on purpose, but I mentioned that whole intense volleyball coach thing, and she was a volleyball player. It was a rough season. I don't know if I could do it any better, even knowing you as well as I know you now, but what I do know is I loved being able to see you continue to fight and persevere. I know the season didn't end real great for you, injuries and all that kind of stuff. But I love your personality when you let it come out. I don't know why, but sometimes it's one of those things that you stuff some things down in. But man, your snarky sense of humor cracks me up. You have this ability to sing these one-liners, and I'm dying. And I wanted to kind of riff off of it. It'd be kind of mean and cruel to the person who's taking it, but in a weird sort of way, you have an ability to do that and create a connection. Just like Kayla was talking about, where you walk in that first day, you say that thing, and when you want to, when you choose to be, you can be a great friend. But being a great friend means making yourself vulnerable. And that's hard for you. It's hard for everybody. It's hard for me because I've been hurt. But if you can do that, you can let your natural personality just come out and not worry about what others think or say or do, and just be who you are, you can light up a room. On the volleyball team, we experienced it where you were willing to be a vocal leader. You were willing to speak up and say something even when other people wouldn't. You've got to continue to do that. Be willing to speak up and say something even when nobody else does. So I can't stand when commencement speakers go forever and ever, and I'm sorry, I feel like I talked way longer than I wanted to. but I just had to talk to these guys for a while, and I'm going to end with this. So we're starting something here that we're going to call the Charger Way. It's going to be a series of things that I'm going to make the faculty and staff and students memorize and recite, and there's so much of things. And it's based on our core values. I talked about them: family, perseverance, and respect. And we talk about these things a little bit, but I want to talk about them a lot because I want people to know what it means to be a Charger. When I say that you're a Charger more than anybody else, what does that mean? It can't be just that I went to school at some place for some period of time. It's got to mean something was developed in me. That my character, who I am as a person, has been changed because I went to Central Christian Academy. So you guys are the first class that's going to get to hear this, but I want to read to you the beginning of the Charger Way. And it's a little statement that we're going to start saying at the school. I am a Charger. I have a family that loves me. They push me to do my best and to be the best version of myself. Sometimes we fight, but when we do, we forgive and our love grows even stronger. I am a Charger. I know how to work hard. I am not a quitter. I am not afraid to fail. I know that it is better to try and fail than to never have tried at all. I am a Charger. I have a great love for respect. I am respectful of others because I believe everyone deserves to be treated with dignity. I respect myself because I know that I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Everyone has a voice that deserves to be heard. I will use my voice to speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves. I am a Charger.